We know more. Welcome to the Last Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Spencer Chandler, here back again with my co-host, Christian Miller. How's it going?
Oh, what's up? It's good to be back talking about Resistance.
It is.
The rewatch for the first time.
Yes, and
We love
it's
our
been
quirky titles.
it's been a little bit. School's been kicking our butts, but we're back and we're ready to talk about Resistance. We got episodes 11 and 12 this week. But before we get there, I think we should talk about what we've been doing while we've been on our short hiatus. First off, Christian, happy birthday. Your birthday was very recently, the big 2-1.
Yeah, it's very special of you to wait to tell
I
me
was
on the recording.
I may or may not have been waiting for the start of the recording to say happy birthday. And I can't tell if that was
we don't record it.
Yeah, I was like, I can't tell if this is gonna mean more or mean a lot less when I do it on the recording.
It means more because I get to make fun of you.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
especially because this is the one episode where we're not recording video because you messed up the equipment.
Yeah. So this is a little bit of a janky episode. So I have really bad audio quality and there's no video. So I apologize.
It's also like the one time I chose not to eat while recording. And I could be doing this right now. If I had a snack, I could be doing it.
Yeah, so your audio and video are like perfect right now. And then on my end, it's just like, no. Yeah.
Anyway, my Star Wars experience lately, I'm steamrolling through my Clone Wars rewatch. So here's the thing. Not all of it's a rewatch. I'm realizing there's a decent amount of episodes that I never watched, or like episodes that it's weird. Like some of the Maul episodes, I either forgot somehow or I never watched them. Both of those ideas are equally shocking. The idea that I would forget something like that, or that I would like skim over it. I don't know, but that's really fun. I just finished season 6 today. And this is a chronological viewing, which doesn't matter as much in the later seasons, but I am going to start season 7 with the Ahsoka arc, then Bad Batch,
Sweet.
then the Mandalore arc, and that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
And then, I just finished my classes, and as I was showing you before, my final project was today. And I presented it, and here's one of the cards. It's visual.
We will post these on our Instagram. Go check our Instagram.
No.
Yes, they're cool. I want to post them. They're cool.
We don't need to do that. But anyway, the art is inspired by Star Wars. And I made a little ship. What else have I been doing with Star Wars? You tell me, Spencer.
I haven't actually been able to do that much Star Wars recently, just because I moved out of college this week, so it's been a lot of packing and finishing and exams and crap. What I have been doing with Star Wars, however, is helping my friend figure out, and this is such a weird question, it's been discussed way too many times, so we won't go into it right now, but my friend wants to introduce someone else to Star Wars for the first time who has never watched Star Wars before. And he was like, all right, you're the person to come to. What order should I watch these in? Or what order should this person watch them in for first time viewing? And I have this
What else are they into? Like, what is their other favorite sort of series or movie?
I don't know. I didn't have this information. All I had was they've never seen Star Wars before, and they want to have the best experience overall of watching all 11 movies. And I have this very convoluted answer that is, I've never seen the order that I have made in my head over the past 6 months. I've never seen it anywhere else because it's very convoluted and it jumps all over the place. But I think it makes sense in my brain. Maybe one day on the podcast we'll go over it, unless you want me to do it now. It's a little weird though.
I want you to do this as in depth as you can, so I would say record this as a separate video.
Okay.
Because I'm interested in really this. Because I also have questions about how to deal with this patient.
Yeah, this should be a whole episode. We'll make this into a whole episode. We'll do what order should you watch Star Wars in for the first time. So, and all of you viewers can listen to it and then use this for when you have kids and inevitably want to introduce them to Star Wars, and you can decide for yourself. But yeah, we'll do a whole episode about that. But that's kind of my extent in Star Wars recently, other than just getting super freaking hyped for Kenobi because we just got an epic Kenobi trailer for May the 4th yesterday. We're about to do a whole episode about that, so stay tuned for that too. That'll be cool. Yeah, I'm getting hyped for some new Star Wars content that I didn't think I would be saying that this soon after watching Book of Boba Fett, but I am hyped for new Star Wars content for more than I have been in a while. So
Yeah, and I am too. I definitely in companion or as a companion with the Clone Wars, I've been listening to the Force Center a lot, and that has gotten me to even get rid of some cynicism of not necessarily changing my opinions on the things I didn't like about Book of Boba Fett,
mm-hmm.
but rather changing my attitudes that I was sort of resting in during that show.
Yeah.
And it's not the sort of like washing everything away to like view Star Wars as perfect, but in sort of like, I don't know, applying the idea of Star Wars to be like, hey, let go of what you think should be, this perfect thing,
Yeah.
and see things for what they are. So, which I mean, I still try to do as much as I can. Here I am getting to watch Resistance, and
Yeah.
showing this. Hey, this is a good example of Star Wars too. So, but with that, I'm just excited for Kenobi. This episode will come out before our trailer discussion, but that's gonna be coming soon, very
Yes.
soon. So with that in mind, let's get into this discussion of the episodes of Resistance entitled Bebo and Dangerous Business.
I will also say, Christian, I've been playing copious amounts of Lego Star Wars recently.
Oh, okay. So you said you hadn't been doing something Star Wars that much.
I forgot. I've been playing a lot of Lego Star Wars, like probably way too much for a healthy amount of comparative to the amount of studying that I should have been doing. Yeah, I was probably playing way too much Lego Star Wars. It's so fun, man. And we just got the new character packs yesterday, for May the 4th that give you Bad Batch and the Mando season 2, so you get Ahsoka now. It was great. So I actually haven't gotten to play since those packs came out because, like I said, I moved out yesterday, haven't set up all my gaming equipment again back home yet. So this weekend I will be jumping back and trying to 100% the game. I think I'm at like 33% right now. The game is massive, bro. There's like 1,200 like Kyber bricks, which are the equivalent of like the gold bricks. There are 1,200 of them. It's ridiculous. So eventually.
Really, I like the situation of like you having it and you being able to play it and have fun, because like personally, I don't want to be back in the headspace of like, you're just like going to bed, you're just gonna sleep, and you're thinking about the things you need to do next to complete certain things of the game. I don't want to have that feeling for a long time.
Luckily,
So,
I don't have that because the way that I've been 100% in this game is really easy to like compartmentalize. What's the word? I can't remember.
compartmentalize.
Yes. I just complete a planet in a day. I just log on, I go to a planet, and I complete all the challenges on that planet, and then I log off. That's kind of how I've been doing it.
Or yeah.
So I'm
Well,
about.
I heard that they don't have the Death Star in as like a flyable place.
It's not a flyable thing, but you can buy it, summon it, and go inside of it.
Okay, so you can't fly to it, and you can't use it as a ship either.
No, so basically, if you're in space, like we saw in like the free roam, you can summon it, and it'll come in, and then you can fly into it.
Does it have like a visual thing, like with Rogue One,
Yes.
the way it comes in?
Yeah, it comes like out of hyperspace, just like.
That's cool.
And you can go into it. They have the Death Star 1, they have Death Star 2, they have a Jedi Starfighter, not Starfighter, but a Jedi Interceptor, I think is what they're called from Clone Wars. Yeah, they have those,
The
and they have
the
like,
pizza ones or the
yes,
hamburger ones?
the pizza ones.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then they also have the Star Destroyers that you can go on to, and they all have like the different free roam challenges on those things as well, which is cool. I've unlocked the second Death Star as of right now, and that's it. It's the only one that I have. So, but anyway, we should probably talk about Resistance.
Speaking of the second Death Star, apparently the trees in like around San Francisco, a lot of it's been depleted. Like that forest that was Endor, a lot of it has been depleted, and it's like they're using it to make like docks and decks in San Francisco. It's kind of sad.
That is really sad.
Environmentalism only works or only matters when you're talking about Star Wars. Be better about knowing stuff, Christian. Anyway,
back to Resistance. And my favorite little man from this show, Mr. Bebo. I love Bebo now.
Well, yeah, what do you think of this episode? It's a very Niku episode. So
it is a very Niku episode.
One of your favorites.
Yes, and if you've been listening, you know that I've really been loving Nico in this series. He's become one of my favorite characters. And then Bebo was just like on another level. It was like, oh, you like Niku? How about Niku and Bebo? And I was like, okay, I can get down with this. This is so much different than like, I think last time we had very serious, like heisty episodes, it seemed like almost. And now it's just like, all right, here's just a fun, like it is a little bit dangerous at the end, but like for most of it, it's just like, let's just have a fun episode with Niku trying to like handle this little thing that cannot be handled.
Yeah, I feel like both of these episodes are very similar in that they start out with like very minor inconveniences and problems that escalate into gigantic consequences.
Yeah.
That like are life and death sort of things.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, it's not totally spy episodes. It's a bit of spying in the second one, but yeah, I think, I don't know. It's always interesting the way that like the way these episodes sort of unfurl. Like, did you expect something like this your first watch? Because I know I didn't.
You mean like an episode like this?
For it to just like end up going with such a big climax, basically.
Oh no, I was like at the beginning of the episode, I literally like thought to myself like, is this episode just going to be a whole episode of just minor inconveniences for everyone and Niku just kind of like, and then I thought that like the entire plot was going to be trying to bring Niku back when he left. It's like, oh, that's the big thing. Niku leaves because Jaeger wants him to get rid of Bebo, and then I was like, oh well, that's going to be like the whole plot of the episode, and it was like, nah, take a seat. Like, how about giant sea monster?
Yeah.
So
And I think I alluded to this in a few episodes ago. I was like, yeah, coming up at some point, there's going to be a good Niku episode.
Oh yeah.
Where I was excited to rewatch it. It just feels like there's a nice little like secret thing in the back pocket. Like there's this episode where a big sea monster comes looking for his little guy.
Yeah, and I mean this episode went 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
Like it was like all of a sudden here's a giant sea monster. Also, Niku like got serious for the first time like ever. Like he's always been either really joking or like very caring for someone when he's like having like a heart to heart moment with like someone, but it's because like he like genuinely likes you a lot. But I think this is the first time that we've seen Niku just be like, "Hey, if you don't I've asked nothing from you for as long as I've ever worked here. And if you can't deal with Bebo, I'm leaving.
Yeah, he's definitely in the right there. Like
Oh yeah, for sure.
he's such a selfless character that like I mean it's over the top, but I feel like it's from the right place that like he would feel so uh slighted by this.
Hmm.
We've also got the subplot with Sonara and Kragan, where we already know that Sonara works for the pirates, but it's definitely it's got I feel like that this is the point where we for the like sorry, I'm catching my breath over thinking out loud. Where it definitely feels the most like Sonara's paralleling Kaz because like
Hmm.
she has her own spy job that like but it feels it's a different thing. It's not like she's bad at her job, like she's good at her job. It's just a question of whether she wants to. And okay, sorry, Kaz is good at his job too, but Sonara isn't really struggling with the process. She's more struggling with, do I still want to do this because I feel this sort of uh, friendship with Kaz.
Yeah.
You know,
I honestly like thought that they had already figured out that Sonara was a pirate because it's been so long since I watched an episode. I was like, oh, she's still here. Like, also, was it this episode that they went down to the engineer's room and those two little kids were still there?
yes, that's this episode.
Forgot about them. One day I was like, oh, they're still here. Like, of course they would. Like, why would they not still be here? They're like hiding out with the turtles. And then they like hinted that the girl probably has the force or something. She's having these like she's having these dreams.
Um, okay, so from in Children from Tehar, she mentions Kylo Ren and like I don't think there was anything force sensitive about that. So yeah, I think this is the first episode where we see that like I mean you can kind of read into it because like the First Order's after her planet and her culture.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's definitely some spiritual vibes there that like it has something that they want, but her specifically being force sensitive is
Yeah.
in this episode. And I think that was it's funny because in the commercials, um, in one of the trailers, it wasn't for like just this episode. It was just like, hey, look at the weeks ahead, sort of thing. Originally, it had that clip of her being like something big is coming, and then like after that, it was like a clip of a TIE fighter or something like that. Like it was the sense of like, oh, something evil is coming, and then when we finally get this in this episode,
It's
it's
just a
like
big sea monster.
yeah, it's not at all just a sea monster. But at the same time, it still feels emotionally right.
Mm.
Like she would see this coming, but also there's so much more action and danger with the First Order going on that I think she also senses that foreboding
Oh
of
yeah, for sure.
evil too.
Well, I mean, even
Um,
in just the next episode, we get first order stuff. So like, I mean, yeah, and especially if she's young and like not like super trained to understand like what exactly she is feeling, and she just feels like, oh, this is something bad is about to happen, and it's all coming at once to her. It's like, oh, this is gonna be really, really bad. Um, it could be sensing multiple things too. So yeah, I was just like, oh, this is cool. We get force sensitive with a bunch of people who have no idea what the force is. This is gonna be a fun interaction. Like this,
yeah,
it opens up for cool interactions in the future. I think for people who are like, I don't understand the force, and she's like, well, I don't really either. I just know I got it.
and also her name is Ayla,
Hmm.
and she's secure in the engineer room.
Hmm.
Get it?
Oh, No. I thought I did
Ayla,
for a second.
Ayla Secura,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
another Jedi. Maybe it's a Forcey name. I don't know.
It is just a 4C name, maybe. Um, I was trying to figure out who plays her, but she's not listed on the IMDb. That's sad. Anyway, um,
Another layer about that is that Cam didn't necessarily blow up, but she definitely has this sort of like reaction to finding out that these kids are, just being housed there
mhm.
without anyone else knowing. And it definitely feels like it's just like one of the just how Kaz gets, all that time to be with the fireball and drive it. These like little things piling up where Cam is like not privy to things going on and like
Mhm.
just unfair treatment. It's like things are piling up.
Yeah. No, I there's also something just really forcey about those turtles.
Definitely. They can
They're
smell with their tentacles.
Yeah, there's something real forcey about those. And if one of them has the force or multiple or all of them do,
Oh, you're talking about the turtles? I thought I was thinking about the sea monster.
no. I'm talking about
Um,
the turtles that are with the kids.
Definitely. Yeah.
There's something like if I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey, one of these or all of them have the force and they've actually been helping her. Like
Yeah.
learn I'd be like, that's cool. That's awesome. And I also would love to see it. So I don't know. I love really old, wise, amphibian looking force users. What can I say?
Kyle.
It's what I grew up on.
Did you hear what I said? I think the Zoom skipped out.
What'd you say?
I said reptile from over the
Oh, okay.
hedge.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And over the hedge they keep calling him an amphibian.
I forget about that movie, but it's so good. I want to rewatch it so bad. Um, yeah, man. This was a really fun episode, and I don't know. It's a nice break, honestly. Like I know it's not even that much of a break because it is really big and you know crazy at the end, but it's still like when if I was really watching like binge watching these, it'd be a nice break from like lots of first order stuff, lots of first order stuff, lots of first order, and then you just like, oh, here's Niku and Bebo. It's being little goofballs, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice little palate cleanser um from the rest of the season because man.
Yeah. And it feels very Star Wars that like this whole time Niku's trying to like he's rightfully um angry at how people are treating him and his pet.
Mhm.
But it turns into this obsession that he can't because people are denying him something that he wants for himself. He gets so consumed in it that he can't let go of Bebo.
Yeah. I
But
also
at
don't
the
know
end of the day,
why.
he chooses to like stick with his compassion to be able to like, no, I need to give Bebo up so Bebo can be with his mom.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just a very nice little sweet
Yeah.
lesson
I
for him.
I also don't know why, but I just really love the fact that Bebo smells really bad.
Yeah,
I I don't know why. That's just hilarious to me that he just
I
smells.
mean, first off, it's an ocean. Second off, those ships are crashing in there all the time. There's got to be some really gross chemicals in that water.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Um hmm. There's a lot
There's
of good
also the
stuff.
part where A Squadron, sort of has to fight it for like half the episode,
Mhm.
in like a Godzilla sort of attack sort of thing.
Yeah, and there's
Um,
like this isn't working.
it's I think it's part of one of my favorite like bits of Ace action, but it's weird because it's like they shouldn't be trying to kill this monster. So it feels like it has that like really good tension that is very Star Warsy. That like
Yeah.
of like that you there's these unstoppable forces, like creatures that like really speak to our fears. We have to fight against them, but they're also like it's nature, and you
Mhm.
can't just rip apart nature from itself using your technology. So it's this very like cautionary, like, oh yeah, protect. Oh, but don't destroy. It's
Yeah.
like that uneasy, like don't kill the animal sort of thing.
Yeah, well, and like part of me was like, how in the world do they not know this thing exists?
Yeah, it's been hidden for so long.
Like, if it's that close, like, how do they not know it's there?
I mean, you know what happened to Nemo.
No, that's true. Yeah.
I'm asking you. I don't know. Can you tell me what happens in Finding Nemo?
Are you talking about the weird the anglerfish or the barracuda that
I need you to tell me the entire plot of Finding Nemo.
boy lost, dad go find? He find him in end with help from dyslexic girl. Not dyslexic. I mean, um, dementia patient.
Sounds like a heartfelt human drama. Is it nominated for Oscars?
I don't know, bro. I wasn't even alive when that movie came out.
Ooh,
Probably not because it's an animated movie, and animated movies never get the credit from the Academy they deserve. So,
ooh, geez. No, that was just like a thing I said because you didn't ever say that they were fish.
oh, okay. Um, so shall we move on to the next episode, or do you have anything else to say about Bebo?
I'm I'm all spent up in terms of opinions on Bebo. Oh, but I mean, animation looks cool. I love the texture and colors on the
Mm-hmm.
fish.
Yeah, yeah. Bebo just looks cool. Bebo looks. I love the color scheme, and he's also like different. I don't think I've ever seen anything.
Different.
Okay, okay, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like Star Wars creatures, he's different, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like that
Yeah,
he
it would be
doesn't.
interesting to see him in a different animation style or like photorealism.
Yeah, because
That'd
like,
be like a cool project of like trying to break down different creatures and characters for like in every animation style that Star Wars has done.
yeah, because it's like what else in like he doesn't look like any other creature that we've seen in Star Wars. So it's like I don't know. It'd be cool to see him in maybe a live action or something like that. I don't know how rare his species is, but you know, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, let's move on to dangerous business, where we get who have now become two of my favorite characters, Flix and Orca, even though we only get them for like a minute. They're hilarious.
Yes, my favorite, my favorite, just chill husbands of Star Wars. They're just
Yeah,
like the funniest little creatures. Um, I know we're gonna go at least slightly from beginning to end, but my favorite part of this episode is when um I still don't really fully remember which one is which, but
I don't either. Don't
I'm
know.
pretty sure it's Flix. Which Flix is the crane looking guy, and he is like, my father was part Gungan.
Yeah, he's like
I
Gungans
remember
don't
he's like,
have feathers.
you need to stop lying about your father.
He's like Gungans don't have feathers. I was literally about to mention that that's probably one of my favorite parts of this whole episode is when they come in just arguing.
I think it's one of my favorite, like just comedic lines in Star Wars in general.
Yeah. Also, just because the voice actors for Flix and Orca are
Yeah. We got Dean Pelton from Community, Jim Rash as Flix, and then Bobby Moynihan, UCB, Bobby Moynihan, from SNL and UCB, as Orca. He's just, and he's a huge Star Wars fan, so it's cool to
yeah,
see him get a
yeah.
role.
I did okay. I will also say this is a weird thing. I've been looking for the guy sweeping the floors. Haven't seen him.
Yeah, okay, I finally figured out his name. It's O.P.Bit. Um, yeah, he's not in these two episodes. I feel like there's been like, I think it's only been two times so far, unless I missed one too, but it hasn't been a lot so far. But I swear it ramps up. We
Okay.
see, because like the more we see the First Order, the more we're going to be running through those halls. Because where there are stormtroopers, there are halls, and where there are
Yes.
stormtroopers and halls, there are running through them.
Yes.
And he gets caught up in the middle of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking out for that. But in terms of this episode, dangerous business. Um, Cass gets to take shop in the what is it called? What is their shop called?
Oh, I don't remember. Wait, let me see. Uh, Acquisitions? Is that the name of the store? Or is that just
Acquisitions.
yeah?
I like that name.
That's cool.
And so yeah, so Flix and Orca are going off on a little vacation, a 1 day vacation, a 2 day vacation, I don't know how long it was. To see Flix's mom, I think. That was very sweet, and I love it how it's like the first like real serious thing is like never go in the back room. I swear to God, if you go in the back room. I love those sort of setups where it's like anytime a show is like that, it's
You know it. You
appreciated.
know immediately what the episode's gonna be about. Like I
Yeah,
was like, oh, the episode's gonna be about Kaz going in the back room for some reason,
yeah.
and I'm
Or
okay
like,
with it. And only because it's an animated children's show am I okay with that. Like most of the time, I hate when an episode is like, don't go in the back. Like especially if it's like in a show that's like normally takes itself very seriously, and there's like, don't go in the back room or bad things will happen, and then they do it, and you're like,
I love. I think that what makes it like just it totally transcends the cliche is that it's Bobby Moynihan voicing a bat pig.
yes,
Like
yes, Bat Pig.
he's a bat pig, and he's literally he just has like such a great look to him. Um, so yeah, inevitably stuff goes wrong. Because Kaz is I don't know. Kaz was holding it down pretty well. He was sticking to protocol. He just got tricked by Taraj something from the mining guild,
I got you. His name
and I
is
don't.
Taraj Key.
And what is the species? I need to know this because I literally don't know. He looks like it could be distantly related to Dexter Jetster, like a subspecies sort of thing. Looks very similar mouths, but like less arms. Um,
Let's figure out what. Now I want to know what like is he? What do you know what species Dexter Jexter is called, right?
Basilisk,
Okay, this guy is Katerian. So
Kyrian. Are there any other notable Katyrian?
let's see. We're on Wikipedia right now. Appearances. What we got? Um, High Republic, Dark Alpha, War Bounty Hunters. There's one in the Mandalorian, Chapter 1 and Chapter 3, and there's also one in The Last Jedi, which was the first appearance.
Oh, I do maybe recognize it, or it was probably on Canto Bight.
I was about to say it's probably on Canto Bight, but
That's where a lot of new creatures were introduced.
oh, I do know him
Which
from Canto Bight. Yeah, he was one of the big. This is actually I will send you this picture later, but this is an actual picture of I'm fairly certain it is the guy from Canto Bight.
I mean the guy.
Like the one that they're talking about that was in The Last Jedi was on Canto Bight.
But which one?
Let me show you. I will share my screen with you. Um, and it's so this is I'm assuming is the guy who was on Canto Bight, who's Katerian.
Yes, that's a yeah.
Yeah, and then this is the one in the Mandalorian. This be him. If it'll
Okay.
load, but he's right here, also.
Okay, what about the one below the resistance one? Is
That's
that
also
from
Mando.
Okay, it looks like it could be Rogue One.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
he's in multiple episodes. There's one in Mando episode 1 and one in Mando episode 3.
yeah, because they bring back the bounty hunter for the big battle.
Yes.
So yeah, Dexter. I looked up Dexter Dexter. It's actually Basilisk. So
Yeah,
he's
so
apparently
this
Basilisk is a lizard from Earth.
yeah.
Uh, but anyway, he's in the mining and he's shady, and he really wants a phase conductor,
Something like that. Yeah. Face something.
phase conductor. And so in order to do it, he orders a bunch of other stuff and tells Kaz to come by his docking bay to deliver, and then he traps him in a cargo um container and drops him to his death in the ocean.
Kaz should have seen that coming or something.
Oh yeah, he knows he's shady and he wants to get to the bottom of this, but somehow he lets himself get put in a cargo container. But it's fine. He's learning on the job and he's got some quick thinking. He evaded the container and still got out with his life. And
Yeah.
he knows his way around the underside of the Colossus.
I will also say that was a really funny, like, I know most people will probably not find it funny, but I loved it when he was like up on the thing and the dude's like, "What are you doing up there?" And he's like, "What are you doing down there?" And it's like, "I'm working down here." And then Kaz goes, "Well, I'm working up here." And all he's doing is hanging for his life. Oh no,
Yeah.
that was really funny for no reason. Um, yeah. Kids, don't walk into a cargo container owned by a sketchy guy. It's that
Yeah,
simple.
he got bamboozled. Okay, so and then okay, BB-8 also gets in a fight with Bitey, the Gorg,
With Bitey.
which that ends up being important, sort of,
Yeah.
because BB-8 shocks the Gorg, um, with his electrocutor thing, which
Mm-hmm.
I think in my head builds up tolerance in the Gorg in order for the Gorg to do what he does later.
Yeah.
But anyway, BB-8 gets like captured or not captured, but like trapped by Taraj, so Taraj can get the phase conductor,
Mm-hmm.
and then he and the First Order are on their way to take it, and has spies, and he finds this out, and then he boards their ship in a very daring move. He gets onto the ship. Sorry, my allergies are kicking me in, even though I've been inside for 4 hours.
Yeah. And then we see, I mean, this is just, I love the way that he's like, all right, I got to take one for the team. And Bitey might bite me and it's going to hurt, but we're going to take one for the team. And then Bitey gets him out because he like destroys the electrical wiring.
Yeah, he like figures out he needs something to cut, and he like looks at Bitey. He's like, "Oh, I got it. Okay." And then yeah, the Bitey bites onto the coupling, and he doesn't die. He doesn't get fried.
Yeah.
And I think that's very funny that he sort of channeled all the power of a ship
Yeah.
after
Bitey's
being like,
invincible, bro. Bitey, if,
but it's like after being electrocuted by a little droid, he's able to take this on. It's very
yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Um,
No, Bitey's invincible.
and yeah, Kaz is like, I need to just take down this entire ship because the First Order has the phase conductor. So I'm just gonna die on the like he had to have at least thought of it a little bit of like, this could, unless I get to an escape pod quickly, I'm gonna die. Um,
Yeah.
and but yeah, it's a children's show, so they always have to show every character getting to an escape pod.
Yeah.
And it's for the best. And honestly, I'd rather have a meeting where the bigger bad in the First Order is like, I'm really disappointed in you,
Yeah.
and like just another explosion where the people die.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It builds suspense whenever the First Order is like Captain Phasma will not be pleased.
Mm-hmm. This is really funny. I'm looking on the IMDb page, and I had to look up on Wikipedia, and I looked up the whole Caterian species thing. And if I would have scrolled down far enough on the trivia section of IMDb, it says Tarajki's design is a Caterian, a species first spotted in the Canto Bight Casino in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, 2017. Thanks, IMDb.
We made it quicker if we went to that first, maybe.
Oh, it would have been quicker if I just scrolled down a second to the trivia section of IMDb.
Yeah.
But no, and then I love the part where Kaz looks at his hand and he's got the bite marks on his glove and he's like, "Rest in peace, Bitey." And then Bitey's just on the window of the escape pods, you can't get rid of me that easy.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing at the very beginning of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
They are repairing what Niku initially says is a Z96. And then Kaz is like, actually, it's a Z95. Only Z95s were used in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then Tam's like, wow, Kaz, you really know your military history. And Kaz is like, oh, yeah.
Aren't these
Totally.
the original X-Wings ish?
Yes, yes, you're very right. Because in terms of tactics, across the Republic, the ARC 170s are the pre-X-Wing. But in terms of wings, engines, and blasters, the Z95 is the closest.
Yeah.
Visually to the X-Wing. So it's kind of and they weren't used as widely as the ARC 170.
What were the ones?
Yeah, they canon, which I think they might have been introduced in Legends first, but they were first in canon in the Zygerian Slavers arc of Clone Wars. They come to rescue, or not rescue, but they come to assault the factory or whatever.
Yeah, and you may not know this, but what are the ships that? And no one will be able to see me to do this, but they look like these. The clones did them, but then part of the wing in the middle also went up, so it was like an X-wing that was bisected in the middle. You know what I'm talking about? I think they're in Revenge of the Sith.
Thinking of ARC 170s, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why I couldn't remember what those were called. But yes, I think. Let me look it up. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, thanks for that.
I say that to say that Kaz knows his military history, and then Tam is very suspicious.
Oh yeah.
Another little.
I mean, she's been suspicious of him for a while.
Yeah.
So
and of course he gets to. Well, it was last episode where he got to fly the fireball out against Ebo's mom. But yeah, she's getting fed up. Oh, I just noticed. I missed this at first. There's a pit droid that is owned by Flix and Orca.
Oh, I didn't catch that either.
But anyway, Kaz gets back and the place is a mess, and BB-8 is trapped under a bunch of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to scramble to clean it up, and he's like, this is so bad. And he explains it to Flix and Orca, and they're like, wait a minute. You destroyed an entire ship in order to keep a customer from stealing our merchandise? And they are so grateful, and I thought that was so funny that it was misdirected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and a small tangent, the fact that they're called pit droids, right? We've only ever seen them in the pits once. And everywhere else we've it seems like when they were using the pits of the pod race, that was a secondary job for them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being the pit crew, they were the pit droids. But then we've never seen them in the pits after that.
Well, the first time they show up, they're on the Trade Federation cruiser. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it necessarily translates to pit of like a racing thing. I think it's an acronym that I don't know what it means. But I think it's like any kind of ship repair. That's what they do. But also some of them have modifications. Like it seems like the one that Slicks and Orca has is a bit more like supplies than like actual repairs. In addition to being a servant because it was carrying luggage.
Yeah.
But also, do you remember the D Squad arc of Clone Wars?
Yes.
There's a pit droid called Whack, and his face was a bit different than a pit droid, I think. That might have been just an animation style though. And he had a
I'm actually
voice.
about to blow your mind.
I'm pretty sure he's the only pit droid that like talks that's not in like little squeaks.
Yes, but I'm also about to blow your mind even more in the fact that they're not canonically called pit droids.
What are they called?
They're called dumb series droid. The pit droids are dumb series. A pit droid is like an overarching like name for all the droids made by this one
like
company.
A protocol droid or an astromech.
Yes, and then the ones that we know of as like a pit droid are dumb series pit droids. DUM, but dumb because they're stupid.
Okay.
That's hilarious. They're called dumb series pit droids. And those are the ones, and it's literally showing me a picture of the one from D Squadron. So he is a dumb series pit droid.
He's the smartest one, though.
Yeah, he's still a dumb series. I'm trying to make sure that it actually, yes, first appearance, episode 1, Phantom Menace. So, yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah, and then okay, the final significance of this episode is that Kaz is like, well, why would someone phase conductor? I don't remember if Kaz asks about the First Order, but I think he was just sort of internally asking that. Yeah, saying why would they want it? To Flix and Orca, and Orca in the most casual way is just like, well, I don't know, trying to blow up some asteroids or rocks or something. And just like as an interested person, like he was like likes to talk about how things work. Like that's his sort of thing. But then Kaz is like, oh wait, this is like the I forget what they're called, but like with the Station Theta Black, how they're mining asteroids. He's like, oh wait a minute, First Order needs this sort of explosive to mine. So the gears are turning. He's like, oh no, there's more that's going on.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about the pit droids after the podcast. But yes, I blew your mind. Sorry, I went on a tangent while also listening to you about researching these stupid pit droids. So.
I'm glad you found your passion. But anyway, Starkiller Base is being built.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I think we've seen it coming for a lot of the series. I'm excited because it means that we'll probably get to see Kylo Ren at some point, and I'm hyped about that.
And we've also, I think it was the first episode that we saw the base itself.
Yeah, but we saw it on the planet before it was. Oh no, we did see it. It just wasn't like finished, I don't think.
Yeah, I think the base is finished, but like not the weapon.
Yeah.
And so like, even though we've already been spoiled with like the actual image, we're definitely seeing the progression of like the First Order sort of coming out in the open. I guess things are sort of piecing together. They're gearing up to make their statement, I guess.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Would you like? We're watching 3 episodes next week, right?
Yes. Oh, I need to pull up my list.
Yeah. I gotta skip the first one because I accidentally already watched the next episode. But the 2 after that, I want to actually no, do the next one. I want to prove to you that I can perfectly guess what the episode's going to be about.
Want to be able to? You just want to have that satisfaction.
No, I'm just kidding. Just do the two that I haven't watched yet, and I'm see. We're gonna see. If you don't know, I try to guess what the episodes are gonna be about just by the title. Am I allowed the thumbnail, the IMDb thumbnail?
You're not allowed the thumbnail. Not at all.
Okay.
Wait, are you?
I've been
Sure.
looking at the thumbnail. I think maybe I can't remember,
You
but
can
I will
cheat.
do it without it. I'll do it without it.
It's. I mean, you always cheat in some way every time, but this time
I'm
you
not
watched the
cheating
entire
this time.
episode.
I could share my screen right now and show you I'm
You
not
watched
cheating.
an entire episode. That's what you did to cheat.
I didn't know. That was unintentional that time.
Okay, the thing is though, I feel like I've been texting you too much, and I figured because I already gave you the list of all the episodes we're doing, so I was like, okay, he can just look that up on his own. I'm not gonna tell him this time the episodes that we're watching, and you still you went overboard.
My bad.
No, it's fair. I originally thought it was 3 today, this week too.
Just
Okay,
give
so
me
14.
yes.
No, 14 you already watched.
No, I already watched. I already watched the 13. Oh, but this is in 2 episodes. Yes.
You watched 14, The Doza Dilemma already.
Yes, Doza Dilemma I watched.
Okay, 15. This is a doozy. The First Order Occupation.
Well, based on what I saw in the episode before, I assume it's going to be. Well, no, and also the name. It's going to be like them dealing with the fact the First Order is about to friggin' take over the Colossus, and just like it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be this whole like, oh, like now we're being watched from every side by these people, and like how are we supposed to deal with that? Boom.
Very accurate, very accurate.
Thank you.
And 16. The New Trooper.
The New Trooper.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like an undercover spy mission of Kaz maybe going undercover as a stormtrooper, and I hope that that's what it is.
You're spot on. You hit that Star Wars beat on its head. You're like, I know. Star Wars always has a point where they dress up as the enemy.
Well, and it happened in Rebels. It happened in Rebels quite often.
Oh yeah,
where they would
all the time.
It's a very Rebels thing for Ezra to dress up in a stormtrooper outfit and go undercover. So I was like, that's what this is going to be. So cool. I did good this week, even if I did miss one of them because I accidentally watched it. But I will take it.
That episode has a lot of great slapstick comedy.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. I'm excited for
all the hijinks that is entailed by him, like someone like Kaz trying to get armor. It's just very hilarious.
Yeah, no, for sure. So our let's see, what was I gonna ask? I don't remember. Is Poe a part of that episode? Is Poe gonna go undercover too?
I don't think any of those 3 are Poe episodes.
Okay, all right. Well, is there anything else that we have to do before we get off here and out this episode?
Because we don't do rankings, we don't do any of that stuff. It's all just celebration.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for listening to this episode, everyone. We know it was a little bit janky from my end. Apologies again. Stay tuned for our the We Can Know Kenobi, the first episode coming out. I guess we're the next week or into this week. I don't know. We probably will double post this week because it'll be a shorter episode. But yeah, if you would like to find us on any of the social medias, you can find us at Last Star Wars Pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can find us at the Last Star Wars Podcast on Facebook and YouTube, and we post all these on YouTube. If you guys want to do some cool, Spotify is now letting us do video podcasts. So other than like this one, it won't be as cool if you go on Spotify with this episode. But for future episodes on Spotify, you can now see what our YouTube viewers get to see. So that'll be cool. So go check that out if you listen to your podcast on there. So if you want to email us anything, your reactions to Resistance or what you want to see for We Can Know Kenobi, then you can email us at laststarwarspod@gmail.com. So let us know what you think. we're very eager to hear from you guys. So thank you once again for listening to this episode of the Last Star Wars podcast, and we'll see you next week.